different owner, different insurance company. Recently, we had a client cancel his insurance. Sometimes when a client cancels their insurance, they've put the car on consignment somewhere and they don't think that they need to have it insured, which of course they do. Or they've sold it or traded it and we just haven't been notified that we have a payoff coming. In this particular case, it was a Lamborghini Aventador. The insurance was canceled. We of course, as a lender, require insurance. We reach out to the buyer to, what's up? Can't reach him. Finally, I get a hold of him and he reenacts his coverage. We then get a phone call from a dealer in California. This particular customer was in Florida. We get a call from a dealer in California about a car that's been in an accident that we have a lien on. It's this car. Different owner, different insurance company. So we get on the phone with the dealer. We find out the information about the insurance, the accident, etc. We get the insurance money to repair the car. I think the insurance bill was $60,000. So bumper cover and a right front wheel. In this conversation, we find out that there's a different owner of the vehicle. Well, who was this person? The client that originally leased the car from us sublet the car to a gentleman in California, collected some amount of money. Our client was still making his payments, so we had no knowledge of this agreement that he had with this other individual until the car was in an accident. As a leasing company, we don't offer the ability for someone to sublet their car to another individual. So we had to, get our attorneys involved and with their attorneys, the attorneys of the gentleman in California, and find a suitable solution to this agreement that this gentleman had entered into that he couldn't. And so fortunately, the original lessor, our client, had the ability to pay us off, and then he worked out whatever he worked out with this other individual. I don't know how it ended, but as our end of it, we made out okay, so it all worked out. I felt bad for the guy in California. He entered into an agreement. There's companies around the country that do offer, lease assumptions and offer the client's abilities to, assume these financial vehicles. So I felt bad for him in this situation because I think that he probably entered in blind and fine. But as you're going through it, I think he understood that, this is bad for him, potentially. And it might have ended up bad, I don't know. What we ended up having to do to get to the finish line was putting the car out for repossession. We were able to then collect the car, and then once we had possession of the car, we had possession of the title, we had possession of the insurance money on the accident, kind of forced the hand of the original client to, hey, I need to come to a solution on this, which ended up paying us off and then working out whatever he needed to work out with the gentleman in California. It's crazy. The ability to purchase, lease, finance an Aventador, a Ferrari, what have you, any type of expensive car. You also have the opportunity of being in a position of owing more on your loan, lease, etc., than what the car might be worth in the marketplace. I don't know if the motivation of this particular individual was, hey, listen, I'm going to put an ad out there on Craigslist, for instance, and say, hey, listen, give me X number of dollars and assume my payments on my Aventador, thinking that, hey, this will get me to an end point that doesn't hurt me. He obviously didn't want the car anymore, didn't want to make his payments anymore, and found this as a viable option for him to perhaps protract that situation out a little bit longer. Quite honestly, I don't know how long the guy in California had the car, what his payments were, or what he sent to the other gentleman. So it's interesting as these clients are creative in coming to an end game for them. Fortunately for Premier, in this particular situation, in our estimation, everybody ended up in a good place. One of the things that's really great about the VINwiki app, for a lender like us, our collateral is mobile and sometimes very fast. So sometimes when we have a situation where we're trying to find a car, the information that we can find on VINwiki can perhaps point us in a direction that we might not normally see, just from doing a normal internet search or looking up on the individual's background. So having the information that's populated to VINwiki can be a great tool for us as a lender.
Over the last few years, we've all heard a lot about ceramic coatings, and personally, I've always been pretty skeptical. It just seems like some sort of super wax or some kind of witchcraft that my detailer tries to upcharge me for. But the guys at Avalon King sent me an email and said they wanted me to try theirs out. So they sent me some of the stuff and they agreed to support our channel this month. So I appreciated that, but I'm still not really sure. I mean, they tell me that if you've got some Kimmy-like girl dancing all over your Lamborghini when it's rented out for a rap video, or if you're trying to protect the front of your car from all the bugs it's going to hit during a cannonball, or even if you just really don't like cleaning your car, it supposedly makes all that easier. So I have no idea if it's going to work, but I'm about to go try it out on the Porsche, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. But I appreciate their support of the channel this month, and if you'd like to try it out for yourself, there's a link in the description below.